Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. It's Thursday and we are not ashamed. It's Thursday and we are not afraid. It's Thursday and we have the same passion, if not more passion than yesterday and less passion than tomorrow. The love, you can really feel it when it hurts. The captain said to Tata, "What a week." But it's only Thursday. We still have Como to play. And then we go back with Galatasaray. Buongiorno. Buonasera a tutti. Ciao, Zach. Ciao, Fred. How are you doing, guys?
A lot has happened since we last talked, Beppe. A lot has happened.
I don't want to start immediately telling you that I'm the king of the last week, but we can do it. And pay attention, Zach. Pay attention. I'm
All right.
closer and closer to you.
Let's go.
I'm tired, boss.
Inter Juve. Kevin said 1-2. Zach said 2-2. Fred said 1-3. I said 3-1. We did 3-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 point for Bep. Galatasaray Juve. Kevin said 1-3. Zach 2-2. Fred 1-2. I said 1-0. Another point for me. So the ranking at today.
Uh-oh.
Kevin 2. Fred 2. I have 4 points. And Zach 6.
So yeah, you're moving up. I'm not afraid though. I'm not afraid. I got some bold ones this week. I'm ready.
Oof. If some of you can message maybe Kevin so that he can give the ratings or the score predictions so that we don't forget him. Otherwise, he will be out. That would be pity.
Yeah,
We'll message him
right
don't
now.
worry. Yeah, don't worry.
I know he's last with Fred, but I still want him to compete, until the end. Let me say hello to all the people in the chat. Buongiorno. Buonasera, Limo. We win that game 100% if they didn't rig it. He's speaking probably about Inter. Beppe was lucky with the unpredicted red card. For Mas, buongiorno. Beppe Bischero. Ciao, Jeff, ti segue anche in inglese. Mezzogiorno Mercate. Buongiorno, Beppe. Mi fa piacere di trovarti qui. You know it. English speaking channel, but every time that we have people that are speaking other languages, we welcome them because everyone is welcome here. Buongiorno, Zach, that is next to me. Ciao, Azzurri. Ciao, Patrick. Ciao, Sasha. On time today for Ciao Juve Eric. We have Azam, Nirai, Jan Reichel, Sir Raz is there as well in the chat. Claude Venuto. Who else do we have? We have Sara. Ciao a tutti. On my commute to work, hope today's live won't raise my fan anxiety even more this week. We have a lot of things to speak about, and we will do it today. Again, we speak a bit about Inter, we speak a bit about Galatasaray, and then we focus on the present and the future. Future that is Juve Como, Juve Galatasaray. I don't know if we will go as far as going towards Roma, Juve, but we have a lot of things to speak about today. I really want to go towards the mini game, super easy, easier even than last time and much shorter. The players that were there last season, so they are not that much. I don't know how much, I will tell you. Apparently 16. Okay. Were they better last year or this season? That's something that we will do later.
Bring it on.
Buongiorno, Abai. Ciao, Tavan. I repeat also for the people, thank you for watching live. Don't forget to put a maximum of likes. The people that are watching a replay, thank you for your comments because I love to read them. People that are not able to watch it or live or in replay, you know that you can listen to us on the Turin Giants official audio channels, Apple Podcast, Spotify, etc., where all the episodes are downloaded and uploaded there so that you can really watch it. No, listen to it without watching to us. So grazie a tutti, and don't forget YouTube channel because they need to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Turin Giants that you can find in the title and in the description. So let's go. Who wants to ventilate? Who wants to go? How did you live the week on your channel, guys? Did the views at least go up?
ton of views, and I will say this is we were visited by a good number of Inter fans after the Inter game and a good number of Galatasaray fans after that game, and there was a notable difference in kindness between the two. The Galatasaray fans came with a lot of energy, but they were totally cool to banter with. Inter fans, quite the opposite.
I said "Ciao Interisti of the world" during this week. I was obliged. There was a bus that arrived out of totally nowhere. I was expecting a few, not that much. It's something, I don't know if it's something generational or not, but I was really asking myself the question, like, if I win, I celebrate with my people. If I lose, I'm depressed with my people. It's really rare. Not rare. No, never. I never go to another channel. You know, when I go to other channels from other clubs, when I want to prepare a game and I want to inform myself about how they think about, or maybe, you know, when there is a player that we are maybe, you know, targeting from a certain club during Mercato, sometimes I listen to what they are saying. That's without writing. I'm really, you know, like in the shadow. But
Inferiority complex.
I don't know what it is.
Inferiority complex. Yeah, it couldn't be anything else. You cannot, you cannot enjoy the winnings of your team as much. So you're forced to take out the negative things on that and focus it on the opponents, I think.
Yeah, I mean, in the limited time we have on Earth, okay, and everyone here on live, in us included, are spending our time bonding over a team that we're passionate about, right? Community and passion, right? That's a good thing. And if you're going to spend your time going and trying to put other people down or revel in other people, it's like that. I think that speaks volumes about you as a person.
Yeah, you're obliged. No bald, no live.
Yeah.
And then the question of all questions: why are you all bald?
Oh, Aman,
Good
sweet
question.
summer child.
Ask Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
Being a Juve fan does that to you at times.
No, yeah, maybe in latest year, maybe a bit. But then I know a lot of other supporters that would be even more bald than we are. Ciao a tutti, come lì, better do an amazing mercato. That's the message. Thank you from Sam. I agree. I agree.
Spalletti agrees.
We when he joined, right? We Frederic and I, we really broke down everything on our show, the Scoop part of Turin Giants, and we knew it was going to be time because of the financial situations of the club and sort of the reverberations that leadership, time that leadership reverberations need to take place. Our buck stops at this summer, right? If it's not notably better, then we're done.
And I have to admit, I'm losing a bit of faith because I was very enthusiastic when he came on because it felt like a breath of fresh air in terms of leadership and structure. So I was happy at first. Now I'm beginning to second guess myself, which is, I think, normal because the results are not following as you hope they should. I'm not saying we should gun for Scudetto and Champions League already. That's too early, but also the fact that if you see, what's happening behind closed doors, the financial situation that we're still intertwined with and still have to get some repercussions for in the summer, it makes one be a bit less optimistic, I feel. I don't know where Zach stands on that after our Comoli review, but I'm pretty sure that Zach is not as enthusiastic as he was when Comoli first joined. Correct me if I'm wrong, Zach.
I take things in stride. Honestly, I'm not really that different. I am beyond myself with confusion at the Openda deal, but beyond that, a lot of the deals, made sense within the context of our club and our financial situation, whether you like them or not. And so I don't necessarily have lost faith in anything. For me, it's going to come down to the summer. There's notable players available on a free that we've been courting for quite some time. There's the potential that some more money comes in. But if all of our loans come back, we don't get any of that money. We have to buy a pendant. We can't flip him. And then we're stuck outside of Champions League with the same squad and a bunch of deadwood. Then it'll be hard for me to then turn around and say that Comolli's the man.
Beppe, should we have signed already a free agent for June because we can sign them from February 2nd? Should that have already been the case?
In an ideal world, you go and you sign the one that you want. But in 2026, a lot of players in their entourage, they are waiting. In the past, it was really frequent that players, the 2nd of February, they were already signing with their new team. Today, it's not like that anymore because, more you wait, more you have bonuses at the signature. Also, some people want to be a bit more cautious. In an ideal world, yes. Unfortunately, we are in a position where we don't know what competition we will play next year. If you want to sign a C player, you have no problem. You sign a C player. If you want to convince a B player, but if your targets are A players, forget about it. They want some certainties. I mean, A players. I didn't say triple A, but A players a la Bernardo Silva or Senesi. You will have a lot of difficulties. If Barcelona is arriving with a certainty of playing Champions League, on top of that, being able today, because they have these revenues that are entering, to propose you, to offer you a much bigger offer than Juve, then you're thinking twice. Ideally, yes. My point on Comolli, I always said that I don't want necessarily to judge Comolli on transfer market only because he's not Moggi, he's not Cristiano Giuntoli. It's a different role in the club. He's CEO of the club. So I really want to judge what he will do with the club, where we are going to. It would be, I believe, a bit too easy to judge him only on Mercato. I said I was not happy about Mercato 25-26, and I will continue to say I'm not happy with it. Understanding why doesn't mean necessarily that you agree with something.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they are not able to make the distinction between explaining and putting a context and understanding why and agreeing or not. I understand why he did these kind of deals, because there were last minute opportunities where he wanted already to build the Juve of the future, because Jonathan David, especially Openda, are players non-Serie A fit. And because Colomwali didn't go, I can understand. These are things that I already repeated so many times. But Cristiano Giuntoli, when he arrived the first year, he didn't sign anybody. He started to sign them in the next year or in year 2. Comolli and team, and I really want to say and team, they will have to show what they can do next season. They will really have to show it, knowing that it will be difficult, because I really want already to anticipate everyone. And Frederic, Zach, you will maybe agree or not. Don't forget that Nico Gonzalez will probably come back to Juve. Douglas Luiz could potentially come back to Juve. 2 deals that we were hoping and thinking and praying that it would be out of question next summer. If these 2 players are coming back to Juve, you have these 2 to manage, plus a Cope Minor situation, plus an Openda situation, plus maybe a Chico situation. It's a lot that you have to deal with. So it will be a tough transfer market. If you qualify to top 4. It will be a horribly difficult mercato if you don't. But, and then I let you speak, of course. But in year 1, I don't judge. You put a structure, you learn. And today, on the 19th of February, you need to prepare plan A, plan B, plan C. Juventus today, because Mercato is today already. Juventus is obliged to think about the worst case scenario, the middle case scenario, and the top scenario. They are obliged to.
100%. And I actually texted this earlier to Frederic, because we were joking when Comolli joined that he's got this giant data-driven spreadsheet. And we were joking that, well, his short list better be at least 100 names, because you need, 10 deep at every position, considering where we may or may not finish up. And even if we finish up exactly where we want to be, there's no guarantee that your Bernardo Silva or your Marcos Senesi aren't going to go to Barcelona or wherever, right? So you and then you can't be a situation like we've been twice this year where you put all your eggs in the Randall Colomani basket and you're left with Openda and nobody, respectively. That's not going to be acceptable for the summer because you have the whole year to plan for it and some. And so like that's why, again, the buck stops in the summer. You have the time to bet in, to build your team, to get your strategy, to implement your strategy, to understand the financials, to kind of work with your management, senior as well as club level, to get it all into place. And if you can't, and if we're the same thing where on the last day you bring in an Openda because you panic buy, that's a failed market at that point. Failed.
Yeah, and also it bears to notice the fact that all these things that we're talking about, they could potentially very well happen in terms of the Nico Gonzalez coming back, maybe even Douglas Luiz coming back. So you need to act accordingly. You need to scour the market now for teams that could be interested, find a solution that's feasible to you economically and both to the player, and then present that and be very, very strict in that. Because if you spend your whole summer trying to get people out and they don't accept certain deals or they don't feel comfortable with going on loan or whatever, then you're just losing precious time, because the summer should be spent for targeted acquisitions and preferably not in the end of August. I would like to have the team complete for whatever reason in the second week of August, maybe a cherry on top in the last week or whatever. But I feel, especially given how Spalletti always does his preseason, Spalletti will be
Yeah.
very eager to have the team readily available at maximum the second week of August, because from what I hear, Spalletti's not content with the players that he can choose from, and rightfully so. If we see some performances, and I don't mean to be very negative, but as I said on our podcast, and Zach can testify to that, there are certain players that are just not good enough for Juve, for this Juve, let alone the grand Juve. For this Juve, they're not even good enough.
I will
So
ask
that
you
begs
a
the
bizarre
yeah.
question, Fred, and then I will answer Fabian as well. But it's a bizarre question, huh? Because I hear Spalletti is not content, is not happy. Has Spalletti been overrated by Juve fans?
No,
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 for me,
no.
Spalletti's doing what he can, but he's trying.
Because not
And
not being content, I mean, you know who you signed for, and you said it himself. There was no money in the winter to do something.
I, before you sign and you haven't stepped a foot on La Continassa or the training field, and you see the name of Cabal, Miretti, whoever, then you think, okay, these are not top people, but maybe I can work with them. But then you give Cabal chances after his injury, and he goes into panic mode. That's not a lot you can do as a coach
I agree.
about that. And the same goes with let's say Miretti has qualities, but for some reason, and it was even clear at Genoa, these qualities don't come to surface. Is that then the coach's fault? I don't know. Maybe some of these players need a bit of a push from
But
within
you know,
The-
themselves.
Fred, I mean, if you tell me he's not content, that's the team. This is why Thiago Motta, Tudor, even Allegri were failing with the team, because that's the team. You saw Koopmeiners playing last year. You saw this player playing last year. You saw them. We knew in the beginning of the season we had a sample also of a Juve that didn't magically change. What I see if I'm looking at the games of Spalletti starting with December, I don't want to go to November because that's not fair. A coach that is arriving and you have immediately a lot of games to play, drawing against Fiorentina, Torino, Sporting. I don't even consider these. But if I'm looking at the calendar, what I see is that Juventus did a really, really beautiful block of games. Coincidence or not, is the games where we played once a week against
Yeah.
Pisa, Lecce, Sassuolo, Cremonese, Cagliari. Then you have a Benfica game that you win, and then you have a game in the same week against Napoli. And then you start again with Monaco, a draw, and since then, just a win against Parma. So the blocks where he had one game a week to prepare, he could manage them. From the moment that it accelerated again and the level went a bit above, we didn't win anymore. So I'm doing devil's advocate. If you go on Twitter, you will see that my thing was you immediately renew Spalletti the day of the 5-2, not the day after. Okay. So I'm pro Spalletti, but I just want to put things in. I want to have a debate because it's too easy, I think, to say he's not content, he's not happy. Yes, he did the miracle. The miracle, I want to see it. It's too easy to say against Lecce, Peter, and we didn't even win against Lecce and Cagliari. Yeah, just saying.
When you judge a coach, I mean, when you look at Spalletti, Motta, Tudor, and Allegri version 2. Right? One thing that I look at it with coaches, and with people who watch Turin Giants will have heard this rant already, so apologies. But do you make individuals better, and do you make the whole greater than the sum of its parts? Allegri made the whole greater than the sum of its parts, but only Rabiot really notably got better under Allegri, where a lot of people stagnated and we were frustrated constantly with certain players, a la Locatelli. Motta comes in, okay? You see some improvement of players. Locatelli is a brand new player, but the team does not play better as a team. They were not able to execute better, and so the whole is not greater than the sum of its parts. Tudor comes in. Nobody gets better, and at least to finish the last season, the whole did play a little bit better than some of its parts, and notably didn't at the beginning of the season. So we have three very imperfect coaches who are incapable, even with maybe especially with the limited squad we have, to do both, which is what you want any manager to do. Even if you're going to finish 20th in Serie A, you look for that person to make individuals better and play better than the sum of their parts. Spalletti is the first manager of the four to notably make almost everybody on our team individually play better, with some notable exceptions. And so that's individually, but also make the whole greater than the sum of its parts. We finally see a strategy being implemented on the pitch and a cohesion within the players that just did not exhibit under the former three. And it's for these reasons. Yes, February has been a tough month. But it's for these reasons why you don't react negatively for what we just witnessed over the last 4 matches. You said, look at the body of work, and you say that he's doing something that none of the last 3 managers have done for this team individually and collectively, and that's what we need to cling on to, and that's what we want to build around.
You could also fire him. I mean, you could if you don't finish. No. I'm saying I'm playing devil's advocate now, but
I know. But no, you say no. I say no because that's why we are here today.
Yeah. That's
because
my point.
Not only Spalletti, but Spalletti. I mean Spalletti. Not only the coach, because the coach, but it's the manager. It's the vision. It's because we are changing management every 2 years. We are changing coaches every 6 months. Yeah. That's why we are here. We are a puzzle of a bit of this, a bit of this, a bit of that, and then it's not working. No, Spalletti cannot leave. But
no.
But I say pay attention, because I personally think that he has been overrated a bit.
I don't disagree, but I don't agree wholeheartedly in the sense that, I mean, to get back to the previous one, we could fire him because he's been brought on to get us 4th place. If he ends 5th and Elkan or Komoli says enough, basta, fuori, nobody can say anything because objectively he failed to get the result that he was brought in for. If you flip the script and you ask yourself, do we have a future with Spalletti? Do we have a good future with Spalletti? Then of course we do. I think we have a good future with Spalletti. And if you change all these wheels again, because maybe tomorrow Pep Guardiola drives up at Continassa, says, hey, I want to coach Juventus. It's been a while. And you, as John Alcon, say, yeah, sure, come. And we fire Spalletti, then it's not going to help even if you put Ancelotti and Guardiola together on the training field. That's not the issue. The issue is the stability, the core, the vision. And I agree with maybe a CEO, because the CEO is always held accountable in every big corporation. The CEO gets, yeah, it gets dealt with during, because of the figures or the results or whatever. So for me, if you say Comoli failed, Comoli didn't do a good job after the summer, he needs to go, and you have somebody capable to take his place, I'm all for it, because we don't feel Comoli's hand, because we're not into Juventus at this point. But if you say the coach, the physical trainer, the people who work with the players every day, and you start deciding to fire them and then again to start this whole circus again, then you're back in a worse loop than you were before.
I agree. I
I've
agree. That's what we need to give continuity. I 100% agree with that. Just
uh,
I want to say today that Neven is saying that today is doing a worse job as what was the comment again?
Yeah,
I
he's
lost it.
he's doing the
Last
worst
season
job
Tudor did
than
better than
Tudor. Yeah.
Spalletti or yes, overrated because of an easy calendar. I really want to point out that this is the team that you have. All the other managers, they have been in really a lot of difficulty. We were blaming them, not that much the team, at least the general feeling. Now we were conscious. We said it that the team is not the team. We said it. The team is not worth, and we saw it also with Tudor. I blamed a lot the players. We were there. We were already doing the lives. I said I will not criticize Spalletti until the end of the season, whatever the result he will have. But it's true that we are in a situation where we are out in Coppa Italia. We are far, really far from the number one position. When he arrived, and again, I'm not counting these first 2-3 games where he needed to settle in, but we were much more closer than ever. We are starting to have a lot of distance, not only from Inter, but also from Milan. So we need to really pay attention that these games now, with that huge big collapse that could potentially be, because to me, if we fail Como and Roma, I'm not even speaking about Galatasaray because that's another game, but if we fail Como and Roma, to me, if we take a line there, I said, he didn't convince me yet. Because we will be really far, not only from top one, but also from top four. And because what I've seen is a moment of Spalletti in a easier calendar in terms of games and teams that we were playing with. So I would really pay attention to go with he has the magic wand and it's only the team. That's my only warning about pay attention. That doesn't mean that he's doing a bad job, because he's doing a bad job. And if we go immediately towards maybe the game, Di Gregorio last season, better or worse than this season?
He was better last season.
He wasn't as bad as this season. Let me rephrase.
I think the tactics suited it more. There were some notable moments where he did make some big saves. I'm thinking the Man City game in the group stage. He seemed more comfortable under Motta. It was clear that there seemed to be a better connection between them than Tudor and potentially Spalletti as well. And he just looks lost for confidence, where last year he seemed a little bit, again, with that connection with Motta, maybe more eager and excited about what the Juventus project could have. And so I think it's very clear that last year was better for him than where we are to date this season.
Perin?
Better.
Last season? Yeah. For the Leipzig game alone. This year he looked lost. He was in I forget the last game. It was either the Lazio or the Atalanta game. The Atalanta game, I believe. It just looked lost. So last year.
So Bremer, it's easy.
I think he's better than in the hospital bed, yes.
Well, no, I mean, the beginning of last season, we didn't concede a goal for the first 8-9 games when he was playing, right? It wasn't until I think the Leipzig game where we conceded our first goal with him playing, and he only played 14 minutes of that game, give or take. It's clear he's a step slow.
No. But the game is just like which season was better, this season or last season?
Done.
Last year, but he played only 8 games. Now he's at least playing, no?
Oh, he was excellent in those games. He's clear. He's a step slow. There's a little bit of a whether it be confidence or something, a hesitation, or maybe a
Bit of
lack of
fear.
anticipation.
Okay.
Maybe that.
So we have already 3 players better last season.
Mm-hmm.
Kalulu.
This season.
Okay.
And by the way, I think he was one of our more underrated players last season. He was stellar last season.
I agree.
He was stellar.
I agree. Gatti.
Better last season.
Kelly.
This season. Oh,
This
God.
season.
Cabal.
Neither.
Last season. Cabal.
Season before in Verona.
Locatelli.
This season.
This season.
And Loca was good last year too. But this season.
Thuram.
Last season.
Yeah. Last season. But he plays in fits and spurts, man. And yeah, last season probably.
When did he play well this season? When we played once a week.
Well, he played the first 2 games this season. He was fantastic.
Yeah. And then
it's been more off than on since the first 2 games.
Yeah, I agree.
McKennie.
McKennie this season. This is the best season he's had under at Juventus, and he's done it in 3 months.
Cambiaso.
Last season.
Last.
Koopmeiners.
This.
I agree. Adzic.
I wouldn't rate him. He hasn't gotten enough minutes.
Yildiz.
This.
Conceição.
Last.
Vlahovic.
This.
Yeah. This.
I honestly have the feeling that we'd have seen a whole lot of Vlahovic after a couple of months with Spalletti.
Please don't open the Vlahovic debate. We will fight today.
No. I'm just saying.
That's what Frederic and I do. That's all we do is fight. That's the fun of it.
That's an assist so that we open the debate. When I say don't do it, it's to do it. Actually, you know what I mean.
Reverse psychology. I think he's the type of player that, and you know how Vlahovic is, like he doesn't touch the ball for a game or whatever, or he doesn't help out or whatever, but he's still that player that you give a chance to, and if he has a good day, he scores. Whereas now, even though we score a lot, we still concede a lot, but our strikers are moot. They just David Openda. I'm not gonna even say Milik, but they don't have the impact that a striker needs.
No, I think Vlahovic is not good, but it would have been nice to have him as the option in Turkey without David. It would have been great to be able to sub him on against Cagliari, right? I mean, there are moments where having someone with his characteristics that Spalletti specifically wanted, granted he's like the light beer version of it, would have been nice, right? It was very clear that when Colomani came in, that Colomani is a better player than Vlahovic. But if you have Vlahovic, we have nobody else with those characteristics, as poor as he is.
I don't know if Colomani is better than Vlahovic. I think that Colomani is the same as Vlahovic. He's mentally not strong. He has been so lucky to arrive at Juve, to score a goal, and to feel so much loved that everything was working. Colomani is a context player.
Overrated.
He goes to Tottenham. He doesn't want to go to Tottenham. Who would love to go to Tottenham? And he's really bad. He goes to Paris Saint-Germain and it's not working and he's not doing well. He went to Juve, and I love Colomani for what he did, and I met him, and I think it's a context player, like Dusan Vlahovic. You will see Dusan Vlahovic. He will go to whatever other team. He will feel a bit of love, and he will do exceptional until
the
Or he'll
the
stay.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No, I hope
Leave me
not.
alone. No, no,
I
no, no,
hope
no.
not.
I cannot
I
agree
hope
with
not.
that. I cannot
No,
agree with that.
I'm not the guy handing out the contracts here.
I
Don't
cannot agree because you will see, he will come back. He will come back, and with Spalletti, he will do well. And we will go again with the Vlahovic Folia, and it's fantastic, like we see him every single year in August, September, before he totally disappear, and then he goes with that mental psicosa that he doesn't feel loved, and he doesn't like, and he is frustrated because he doesn't score, and then that first control is bad, and he doesn't believe in himself, and he cannot fight, and then he's against this, and then another striker is arriving, and he's putting the 9 to show that he is the 9. Basta, and he's earning 10 to 12 million euro. You want him to stay? He should have stayed
No.
much longer, because you know what is happening now? He went with the age and the Ristic to every big team in the world. Some even said yes, why not? And then they asked for so much money that nobody wants to pay. On top of that, he's injured, and now he will say, "Oh yeah, why not? I stay." I
No.
said one thing: you want him to stay, I will support him, because he's a player, and until the end of the contract of a player, support him. You want him to stay? Super easy. You take all the algorithms, all the data that you have of 4 year and a half of Dusan Vlahovic. Nobody better than you knows Vlahovic. Tactical questions, technical questions, behavior question, the pressure, can he manage it or not? What is the potential? Every injury, pay attention, because every season is off for a few games, if not for a longer period. You take all of that, and only then, if your answer is this is the player that we want, you sit and you discuss money. You don't discuss first money and then you look at the rest, because that's the problem
Agreed.
that we will commit. We will check and we will say, if we sign another striker, it will cost us much more. So maybe not signing Dusan because he's already our player. It's okay. 1 year, I give you. If we find a deal at 4 million euro, I give you 1 year of contract. You show me 12 months of big, huge Vlahovic with Spalletti, and I give you 6, always under Kenan. Will he accept? I don't think so.
No,
No,
but that
let it,
was
let it,
Now.
let,
that
let,
was
let,
what
let-
that was what Icardi wanted to do. He said, "Give me these 3 months. I'll show you I'm of high value, and if I show you, then we talk about a new contract for a year, maybe two, and that's putting your money where your mouth is. Right now, Vlahovic and everybody, even McKennie, pay attention, because if we start talking, good about McKennie, tomorrow he'll walk over water, because everybody's, oh, McKennie this, McKennie that. Let's not forget the past either. Let's not forget. I see.
McKennie has been more useful to Juventus over the last couple of years than
But
Dusan has.
no, but that's
Oh,
not the
yeah.
issue. That's not the issue. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that everybody's shouting McKennie this, McKennie that, McKennie this, and so forth. McKennie's a very good player. But if McKennie sits at your table and wants 6 million, even I would tell him to F off. Let's be honest here. That is not a six
No, but
million.
but, but
I
the
don't
point
know.
is,
I
but the
don't know
point
how
is,
much, but 3 years have been offered to McKennie.
Yeah, but not for six. He asked for
I don't.
six,
I don't know how much. I don't know.
4.2.
It's good.
For him, it's good. For me, not so much. I don't get any bonus, but for him,
Yeah.
it's good. But 4.2 is without bonuses, I might add. I don't know what the bonuses entail, but the offer is 4.2. It could go to 5 depending on bonuses. But then again, I think that's a fair offer. If McKennie also thinks that's fair, then you can work together, then you can compromise. In the Vlahovic situation, I mean, it's very different, because you have earned 12 million now without even having to break a sweat. You have to renew, and you say, I'll do it for 7.5. While you're not worth 7.5, McKennie is worth 4 million. McKennie knows he's worth 4 to 5 million. So he agrees, because not only does he love 4 or 5 million euros, what he can earn elsewhere as well, but he likes Juve, he likes Italy, he likes Torino, whatever. So that all comes into play. Then you have a successful marriage. if you're Vlahovic and you hop on the jet, you stop at Barcelona, you stop at Bayern Munich, you stop there, and then everybody says, you're too expensive. And then you come back to Torino saying, "I love Turin, Forza Juve, let's go! Oh, we scored! Let me celebrate in front of the camera to let people see how much I love Juve."
No,
No,
because it's beautiful to love Juve, but when there was the Christmas party with he was gone, huh? He was not
yeah,
there.
no.
No, because then it's
I kind of want to
easy.
be. I kind of want to be done talking about Dusan Vlahovic. Let's
Fabio, well, in that case, speak well or bad about Di Gregorio, because that was the question of
No.
Fabione 45. Not
I'll
you,
take.
not you.
I'll take.
Exactly.
No. Yeah. Frederic is.
Me ne vado.
No, the thing is with Digre is I think first and foremost there's 2 points I want to make about Di Gregorio is when we talk, a lot of Bepe's words of the day are over and underrated. I think his contribution at Monza was good, but he was overrated for what he did for them. And second point, and I could go deeper in these if you'd like, Beppe, but I'll stop here to allow you to share your thoughts. Then the second point is that the Juventus shirt wears heavy on certain folks, Koop Miners being a perfect example. And I think that when he joined, he had, and we are seeing early in last year, he kind of came with that pep of a new player, but he has lost it and he has struggled to gain that confidence back. And I think a lot of it comes down to the weight of being a part of a Juventus team with the expectations, with the press attention, and with the ghosts of keepers past, lording over him. And I don't think he's coped well with both aspects of or both of these points.
I don't know if he was overrated at Monza. The difference is at Monza, you receive, just saying a random number, 20 shots a game, and you are doing, 19 or 18 or 17 saves that are really great. And then you are exposed in, wow, fantastic goalkeeper. He's saving a lot. And then he's conceding 1 or 2 per game. And while at Juve, you should ideally have less shots on target, but the ones that are there are really important, and you are exposed because every single shot you are judged by millions of fans that are watching every single game of you. So I don't think that he was overrated at Monza, but as you said, Monza is Monza, Juve is Juve. It's totally different. I think he's a really good goalkeeper when he starts receiving a lot of shots on target and he's in his game and he's moving, but he's not a one shot a game goalkeeper. There were in the discussion 2 years ago 3 goalkeepers: Vicario, Di Gregorio, Carnesecchi. Vicario is regressing at Tottenham.
Yeah.
Di Gregorio, he didn't make that step up from Monza. He didn't show that he was able to wear. The only one that is growing from the tree is Carnesecchi.
Oh, yeah.
It's really Carnesecchi. Now pay attention, because this morning I made a video and I said, if we offer Gatti for Carnesecchi plus money, but they don't want, and they want Miretti, I say yes. But, and I will be extremely unpopular here, what Atalanta would love is having Daffara, the young goalkeeper from Juve. Maybe with Miretti or not, but, and to me, how much I love Carnesecchi, he's a Juventino and whatever, I would not let him go.
No.
I would. I think we have, look, you look at any of your chats and our chats over the last 3 months, everyone is completely at a loss for Di Gregorio. Faces 2 shots, guaranteed to go in. That's just what it is. He doesn't save a darn thing. You cannot progress with this team without getting quality players at every position. And part of that, and part of the sacrifice you make, is leveraging the future for the present. Now, normally, I am all about keeping your future prospects, trying to nurture them forward, not leveraging your future to get someone in short term. But Carnesecchi, he's not 32 years old.
No, he's 25. He's young.
Exactly. He could be your keeper for the next decade.
But you're
Okay.
spending 45. 45. That's what they
Well,
will
in your
ask you.
hypothetical, you were going to
If
spend
not
that
50.
anyway. You were going to spend something like that
No,
anyways
because
with Moretti or with plus Gatti plus cash. I'm saying in your hypothetical, if you have to give away the young goalkeeper to get a goalkeeper that could be yours for the next 10 years, and be a starter and be much better than your current goalkeeper, I would do it.
Yeah, let's give some more money to Atalanta.
Fara
Sure.
is incredible. If they want him on loan 1 year, that's what you said, Fred. I didn't hear what you say. What did you say, Fred?
I say let's give more money to Atalanta while we're at it. No, and not Dafara. Dafara needs to stay. He's the one goalkeeper I saw a couple of times where I say this is something special. For me, I'm nobody. Once again, I'm just some idiot sitting in front of a laptop. But for me, Dafara is one of the top European prospects, European in goalkeeping.
What
If
I
you
would
do
do
that,
is
it's
yeah, no, it makes no sense.
give him a
But,
Miretti and Gatti together combo deal. Here you go. No money, both of them. Ciao. Maybe throw in
Lyon
5,
is
6
on
million.
Gatti. Lyon is on Gatti.
Not only Lyon,
West Ham as well.
Bournemouth.
And then they will sell him for 60 million euro to Real Madrid.
Probably.
Only for Real Madrid to ostracize him. So who cares?
65 for the extra hairline.
Yeah.
I don't care what we do. To be honest, I don't care what we do with a Miretti, Gatti, even what's that guy named again? Openda. I don't care. Just get somebody veteran and don't sacrifice the potential gems we have. Because saying we switch.
I have another game. Continue. I have a game. No,
The-
continue.
the-
If we switch the Fara, it would be the same as saying 2 years ago we're gonna give
Hyphen.
Atalanta Yildiz or Huizen.
Oh yeah.
It's the same caliber in terms of growth potential, and so I'd rather give out the players that we know are not gonna succeed. And Miretti's not gonna turn into Pirlo overnight. Agatti's not gonna turn into Cannavaro. We reached the ceiling with them, or they reached their ceiling with us. It's time to move on, get somebody better, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Defara plays at a position where, I mean, it's an island, right? You get the best guy in for the job. If you say that he's not going to be ready for Juventus for, I mean, how many years, Pepe, would you say?
2, 3.
If he can get 1 year of Serie A next season,
So you think
it would
2?
be- but as a number
Yeah.
one, not as a number two. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
2, 3 years. The thing is well, then the question is like, would you be able to live with Di Gregorio over that?
Yeah.
I think the answer is no.
If you tell me I keep 1 year Di Gregorio and then Dafara, or maybe already taking Dafara as a second goalkeeper,
Yeah.
so that it's and then the step up, I do it.
And
But
I mean, but at the same time, if you think Defara's going to make mistakes, I mean, we even saw Donnarumma, young, starting for, granted, much younger than Defara is now, starting for Milan. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to grow. That's what we're going to have to accept. If you Carnesecchi could come in, start today, and what it will take Defara 5-6 years to get Carnesecchi's level. I mean, that if you're going to wait that long, for a goalkeeper who's already
really good.
What Dafara needs is 1 season as a starter in Serie A.
I agree.
And then if he should stay at Juventus and come back as number 2 or fights for the number 1 spot, he needs the other goalkeeper to be of a certain stature so he can learn from him. And if you do that, then you have a bundle of mechanisms working together. If
Then
you
pay attention. Carnesecchi is a goalkeeper I really love. So if you bring me Carnesecchi, I'm happy. If you have one, I don't want to give him the Fara, 1, and 2, giving 45 million euro for Carnesecchi, I would not. I prefer waiting 1 year and spending my money somewhere else. If you have a Dafara that can be ready in 2 years, then I'm not a goalkeeper, a scout, or judge, but Karnaseki, yes, but not for 45.
I
Not
mean,
for
if you're paying 45 plus Defara, then you're bad at your job, though. Like,
Keep
you don't
keep
you
keep
don't you
an
don't you don't give if you feel that strongly about Defara as Juventus, and both of you do, you don't do Karnaseki plus or Defara plus 45 for Karnaseki. You say we're going to give you our best
45.
prospect. Then I mean, I mean, from a hypothetical situation, when you're not looking at the money, I say you definitely for a goalkeeper. I have no problem making that move. But if you're saying practically you're 45 as well, I mean that's just asinine.
keep an eye out on Liga for some keepers.
Yeah, like what happened to Guillermo Restos? Didn't we all three of us talked about him?
He made him Mexican. Guillermo Restos. Is rest.
Hey, I'm
like
pretty
rest.
close. I'm pretty close to the border down here. I speak a little Spanish too. Okay, you're gonna have to forgive me. All right.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Guillermo Restos. Guillermo Restos.
Guillermo.
Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding.
There you go.
No, I
What happened
think
about him? We've been talking about him.
I
He's
just
still in
think
the
there
list.
was yeah,
And there is
there
the
was no
goalkeeper of
money.
Olympiacos as well. 23 years. Pay attention.
And a Belgian goalkeeper, I heard.
Who?
Oh.
That I don't know.
I don't know. I just had a promising Belgian goalkeeper. I texted, I replied, who? Give me a name. Nothing.
I don't know who is the promising Belgian.
Me
I
neither.
know. I know there was one, but he's super young. That cannot be, because I was following him when he was playing with the under. What was it?
I literally have no idea, no clue. I don't follow Belgian football anymore, not even the prospects. So I have no idea. I just know that's what they said to me. So
Grazie Bogdan for the membership that you offer. Grandissimo Bogdan. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it, my friend. So we didn't speak about actually no, it's not true, because we said, did we overrate Juve? And we spoke about it. Spalletti, the moments of winning one game a week.
I mean, I think we ended that discussion disagreed. I don't think we overrated.
No, it's not true. No. I never said that. I said that we disagree. No. I didn't say that we overrated Spalletti. I said, pay attention. Wait for Como and Roma. Then we will see.
That's not an answer. Then that's
for now,
we got Beppe like Keanu in the Matrix dodging the question, bent over backwards.
Beppe.
You want to say we didn't? No, I didn't overrate him, because I always said I believe that Spalletti is a fantastic coach when things are going well. When things are difficult, it's difficult, and we will see.
Beppe, yes or no? Did we overrate Kenan Yildiz?
No.
I mean, he's at a dip. You can tell he's gassed, but you don't judge a guy on 3 games.
Did you see the knock? People that are not saying it. The truth is he received a deadly knock in the initial minutes.
Mhm.
The foot was like this, with the ankle that was nearly broken.
Yeah.
When he was walking, he was like that. People are criticizing for him.
Yeah. That's my point. It's not that I'm saying that it's not me leaning into a debate. It's just
okay. Define overrated.
Should we expect more from him at this point in the season?
He's out of gas. Yes. At 20 years old, you should be able to play every 3 days. Yeah. He should learn to manage his energies and to be able to every game to offer what he can. Yeah.
That we can agree on.
If you tell me overrated is in the young generation talk, he's already, like top 2 in the world. No, he's not. We are overrating. If you're telling me he's not doing enough, I don't agree, because on a season you see the evolution of Kenan. It's not only on, but it's also off the field. So I don't think that he's overrated, because, like I said, if you're looking at stats also, is breaking all the stats from the young players that are playing at Juve, and he's been doing it in a difficult Juve.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
But it's true that he should still continue to learn. There was one big question from Spalletti. No, not a question, a statement from Spalletti. He said, and now some situations are over. We need to take a decision because words are words, but now we need facts. The last time that he said that, we didn't see any more Openda. He disappeared and we didn't see anymore. Also, Adzic, we didn't see anymore. He said it again, so it's the second time. What is he
I feel,
speaking about?
I think he's talking about, in that point, I think he was referring to Gatti and Cabal, in my
I
opinion.
don't think so because he already took a decision about them long time ago.
Yeah,
The
but still, you could see with the minutes Cabal was getting that he was hoping for something else. And he said it before, like he said in the past, Cabal to me has a very bright future. He's somebody I can work. So I think he had high hopes for Cabal, but seeing him fail time and time again, I think he felt a bit disappointed, maybe even betrayed, because it was utter stupidity what Cabal did.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you could see Spalletti shouting like, what are you doing? Stop. Just, stay with the player. Don't engage. Don't. But still, Cabal went his way. I think it was referred to that. And I have to say, in hindsight, I don't like the way they're treating Openda. I just want to make it very clear because you buy Openda makes no sense. I think we can all agree at the last day buying Openda in this team with the coach we had back then, especially, no sense whatsoever. But you still do it. If you do it, that means that you feel a certain way about Openda. You see some potential in them, or else it's just, picking a dartboard and throwing darts at names. Give him the opportunity as well. Because we're complaining, me as well. Openda, blah blah blah. It's not like he had a chance. It's not like he had a proper chance with a proper system. Give him 2, 3 games.
it's
Not now, it's too late already. He's done at Juventus. It's imploded. But you should have given him that in the beginning when Vlahovic got injured, when you saw that you had other options available before you went into that 4-2-1-3 hybrid situation. You could have given him a lot more opportunities. Whereas you bend over backwards to give Koopmeiners opportunities. You'd even put him in goal if you'd have to, but you don't do the same for Openda. I find that a bit. That's also Spalletti. If he doesn't like you or it doesn't
Mhm.
mix and match, then you're out. I don't feel that's the proper way because it's still an investment you're putting on the line at the
Yeah,
end of
yeah.
the day. So
may,
for me,
may I respond to kind of the two points topics that Frederick covered? The first one being who was Spalletti potentially referring to with that quote. I don't think it's a player like Cabal, a player who just does not have the reps on this team. I think anybody could have told you that when you subbed him on in that position, he was going to get absolutely destroyed. And I put that entirely on Spalletti, and I'm still kind of ticked off at what he did in that second half and what he did to Cabal. No mature manager is going to look at a player who gets as many minutes he has and as deficient as he is and say, I'm done with him. No, he's going to look at a player like Cambiaso or Chico, people who get a lot of game time and who have failed to produce consistently. And so when I read that quote, I don't know if he can say Cambiaso because there's nobody else behind him. And I'm not sure he could say Chico because there's really nobody else behind him either. But my guess would be Chico Conceição. You could at least put Moretti there or experiment with something. The guy plays so often and has failed to meet up to the production levels that he had last season, being a giant disappointment in my book. Secondly, with regards to Openda, I agree with you, Frederic. I think there's been notable times against open games and high blocks that we could have easily seen them where I've said I want to see him in this game, usually as a sub. And this last game in Turkey was the perfect situation at halftime for us to not play Cabal, as I told you guys at halftime, because it was just it's obvious to anybody you put him in exactly what happened was going to happen. You switch back to the 3-4-2-1. You put Openda up top, you move McKennie back, and you balance the team that way. And Spalletti not playing Openda in a game like in Galatasaray, in a game like several previously, shows either that Spalletti with regards to the player is being unnecessarily stubborn, or Openda just dogs it in training, which would be hard for me to believe. But I have no insight into his training regimen of if that is possibly why Spalletti doesn't like the player.
Spalletti is just at times weird in certain things. He's very old-fashioned, which is not a bad thing per se. But I remember once I was texting my source and I asked him about, there was a game where Cambiaso did a Cambiaso again. And
Every
I said,
game.
yeah, but it was in January someone, and I was frustrated and I was texting like, what, don't you guys see this? Doesn't Spalletti see this? Doesn't this happen in training and blah 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 blah? And he replied a bit sarcastic. He said, yeah, sure, they talk about it in training. And Spalletti also replies. And I said, yeah, what did he reply? And he quoted in Italian. He said, scusa, ma io chi cazzo deve mettere là? And that could be the typical Spalletti. I don't have anyone to put there apart from him, because you see what happened, the difference in quality between Cambiaso and Cabal. We're always complaining about Cambiaso, rightfully. Then you get Cabal there. It's
No, I mean, and people saying Yilmaz, we need to get him. He was fantastic, and he's had really good season this year and last year.
Yeah.
But think back to last
That's
year,
interesting.
Jagrova versus Cabal. I mean, Cabal makes most people he goes up against, like the dribbler types.
Yeah,
He makes them look amazing. He doesn't know how to defend those players.
Spalletti didn't put Kostic because he remembered Palestra and Neres, Cagliari and Napoli. This is why he doesn't play Kostic, because he sees him more advanced, on the field when he enters. He doesn't see him. But
Kostic,
that's why. Then he was obliged to put him, but that's why he put Cabal. Cabal did a disaster.
Also, a lot of people
that's
don't
on
know
the manager. That's on the manager. Kostic, you might say that, Beppe, but Kostic is way more experienced. He's way more intelligent in a game. He's also more of he's been there, done that at a highest level. He won the Europa League. You put a more mature player in that. And then you switch to a 3-4-2-1 to again balance the team with knowing that you don't have David in there, knowing that you don't have Cambias in there, knowing that our left side, their right side is going to be troublesome. You don't put a guy is going to get absolutely destroyed. Kostic at least had a chance.
So at the end, you are telling me that I'm defending Spalletti, and you're saying that he was overrated.
Well, both can be true. Both can be true.
Hey, wait,
I have absolutely gone all in against Spalletti in I think 2 or 3 games. The Galatasaray game, second half being one of them, and I feel like anybody who has an absolute stinker of a game deserves to be acknowledged that they had a stinker of a game. That doesn't mean that you bail on the whole project because of the Napoli game or the Galatasaray game.
There is one small nuance I'd like to add.
Brambilla ball, baby.
100% victory record.
Kostic, prior to boarding to plane to Istanbul, had a 40-degree fever. Right? There was a lot of doubt if he was even going to make the trip.
Who?
He was Kostic. Kostic was ill prior to leaving for Istanbul. They said, okay, we'll just take him. He got some treatment by the doctors and was a bit better, but still fluish. So maybe that's also one of the reasons why he didn't want to bring Kostic in for a whole half. I don't know. I'm just saying what.
You see how he stepped up on the field. Thuram was walking.
Yeah, he was a disaster.
Bremer, when he fell on the ground, it was like 25th minute. Was someone surprised?
It was like 30. It was like the 33rd, and then 10 minutes later, right before half, he was out. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was about 10 minutes between falling down and being subbed out.
But was someone surprised in your chats when you were doing the game, or nobody? Surprised.
No,
we knew it was coming. We were waiting for it. So you have a Bremer not 100%. You have a Thuram that was walking. You have Kenan that he was already out of gas because we saw him against Inter, Lazio, Atalanta. On top of that, he received that knocks and he's already out. You have a Conceição that is Conceição. And by the way, Conceição is even because Conceição was good. in terms of dribbling his men, creating dangerosity, and then he was messing up everything that he built. But 3/4 of Conceição was good. He needed to improve that 1/4 because then it would be a really decisive game. But the problem with
But
Conceição,
we've been saying that for a year now. When is he gonna
but
do it?
instead of improving it, now he's doing
regressed.
something
Yeah.
that is not good because he's
Yeah.
not even taking he's scared.
Yeah.
No,
I
he's
have
scared.
never seen a Conceição that scared because instead of taking, he's scared to do a mistake. And how many back passes did he do to Kalulu? None of our players are doing back passes anymore, and he was the one that never did them. He's starting to do like tons of them. I was really, I was surprised.
I think part of it with Chico is mental. I think that's very clear to see is that there's a confidence aspect. I think another thing with Chico is he played a lot better with a different type of striker. He loves to spray on those crosses, and without McKennie making late runs, Openda and David are never going to be the type of striker that's going to really reap the benefits of what Chico can do. And that's something that, those few games that we saw Moretti start in that right winger position, but largely shift infield and not play out wide, and you'd have McKennie maybe shifting out wide. You saw way better production from Jonathan David and the team as a whole because Jonathan David needs someone to play closer. If you have Chico and Yildiz so far on the wings, just like we saw at Galatasaray with McKennie, it leaves a striker of that particular skill set, McKennie or Jonathan David, isolated and incapable of doing anything because they're not a target man's penalty box striker. So I think what we're, and this is up to the manager, but we're at an awkward situation where what Chico can do well on his best day, we don't have maybe the pieces around him to get every piece of potential out of that player.
Fuori dalle palle.
Look, let's do really fast this game. Certainties. Players that will leave.
Can you zoom in?
Yeah, can you give zoom? Yeah, I was
I'm
like, I
very
could lean
old.
it, awkwardly lean in.
Calma. You have 3 blocks to sport. It's of course not 100%, but they are saying these are the players certain. Here are to stay. Sorry, players that will leave and players that are at doubt. Okay, so if I zoom in, certainties that stays: Kenan Yildiz, Bremer, Locatelli, Thuram, Kalulu, Conceição, Miretti.
Che schifo.
Leaving: Gatti, Cabal, Openda, Jegrova, Adzic, Perin, Kostic, Milik. Pay attention, of course.
No objection.
Then you need someone to buy this player. Right? It's not like no, but that is important because then
we just put them out to Continental
Yeah.
with a cardboard. Please pick up
Yeah.
And then you have a doubt: Vlahovic, Gregorio, Kelly, Holm, McKennie, Boga, Koopmeiners, Cambiaso, Pinsoglio, and David. Actually,
But Holm
let's say
didn't
that this
even
is the
unpack.
list of, like Comoli is doing in his room, like in a hotel, like, okay, who stays, and then we will speak about it. What is right and what is wrong in that, let's say, Comoli list?
I know for sure Perin has made an agreement and
Yeah,
and
here
the
is.
transfer window. Yeah, the transfer window that he can leave in June. So that's certain. As far as I know, I highly doubt the Conceição Miretti staying part.
Yeah. That I want
in terms of.
Yeah, I have no issue with the leaving list, but those two I look at with my eyebrows a little bit furrowed because if those are ones where somebody comes in and I know there's a market for Moretti, we would let either of them go probably.
Could this not be like, they could leave as well, Miretti and Conceição, but then bring us the money?
No, I don't think. I think
Are we in
they
a
have
position?
certain
I mean,
expectations.
Comoli has his sort of my way or the highway with sales, like we did with Timmy Weah, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a component of that, Beppe, but you also have to be practical. You can't say 70 million for these players. I think those might only be certain to stay because people might not meet our valuation. Chico was expensive, so that would be why he would probably stay. But he's been a complete bust this season. Moretti,
Yeah.
I think people could easily meet our valuation of him within Italy, let alone teams outside. So I don't. And why would we keep him? I mean, you could say for depth, but if we don't have many sellable asset players. If you have one, that would be the opportunity to turn that into further players. So I'm surprised to see him on this section of the list.
Also Bremer Thuram. I'm not so sure. I can imagine if should you sign Senesi on a free and Arsenal says, hey, here's 60 million for Bremer. I'm just spitballing here. I honestly don't think Comoli would say, oh no, hold up. The same for Thuram. We didn't pay a lot for Thuram. He was a bit of a bargain
here's
in
my
that
question.
aspect.
Is Bremer overrated?
Because right now,
that's the topic of the live. Huh?
As of right now, he is. So right now, he is.
He is recovering.
Oh, that's my point. Is people when they talk about Bremer, most people talk about Bremer as his overall body of work, best defender in Serie A. But Bremer right now is still recovering.
We are completely misusing him by letting him play so many minutes. That's never a good idea.
But
because
part
the
and
injury
parcel
now
to what that comment, part and parcel to that comment is admitting that he's not where he was. And because so many people still consider him or talk about him and his importance on this team as to how he was, that would be overrated.
60 million, I'd sell him. I'm just saying. I don't think we'll get to see the Bremer we saw 2-3 seasons ago. I don't think he'll ever get back to that level. And I said it when he got injured as well, because at the same injury, it's practically impossible physiologically to get to the same level because there's still pain, there's the mental aspect, whatever, but also the fact that if you play this many minutes like he has, you don't get a chance to recuperate. And all these small injuries that he gets right now is just the workload and him subconsciously not trying to put everything on that knee. So you stress other areas of your body in duels, in sprints, and whatever. And with an overload, you get these types of injuries. And
I'm not. I said he's overrated, and I think it's pretty obvious to me that he is. But I'm not nearly as pessimistic as you are, Frederic. I mean, a lot of defenders have had these types of injuries. I think most notably Van Dijk. He exploded his knee, was out forever. He's come back, and he still starts at one of the best teams.
Still not the Van Dijk we saw a couple of
seasons
ago.
That can be both true as well as he still be an absolute stalwart in our defense. Do we have him on our payroll? If we still are able to get, and have the defense of a healthy and consistent, albeit slightly diminished Bremer with Lloyd Kelly or Senesi, Kalulu, and God help us, a competent left back who doesn't gift goals to the other team, that is a really good defense. So I'm not saying get rid of him or anything like this. I think he's
Pepe,
still.
What do you say? What do we do? 60 million. 60 million.
I already, because now people, they will steal my my topics. Yeah, probably yes. Already in the summer, I was speaking about it. I said he has a clause. Remember that we played the game already, and we said if they come with €1 million less than the clause, what do we do? What do we do with Bremer? You remember that we did?
I said keep him. I said keep him.
I remember. You remember? But yeah, but I mean, we already had that discussion about Bremer a long time because I knew that it would be that. I knew it. It was so predictable to me, and I like Bremer, but to me, he's the best defender of Juve since a few years, without doubt. To me, it's not as good as a lot of people are saying. He cannot build from the back. He has difficulties to play with the left. Now the physical condition doesn't help him. I love him. I like him. I would love to have a 100% fit Bremer. But to me, how we are sometimes describing Bremer, I
It's
think
too
we are
much.
overrating.
I-
Slightly overrating.
we
That's why
agree,
I say
Beppe. We agree. We never agree.
Is Senesi
everything over
Senesi
50,
better?
I sell.
Senesi better? At this point, in this moment, you just
Look,
compare at
nah, but it's super difficult to say this for me because I'm not an expert of the mouth there. That strange team. I don't know. Bournemouth.
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 So I mean,
You know, from the clips I saw, you see a different player than Bremer. You have
Yeah.
character. You see a player that is able to play with both feet, that can build from the back, that has a really long, precise ball. So a lot of things that Bremer is missing, he has it. He could play definitely with Bremer because they
Yeah.
they complete each other
yeah.
better. Than it's, of course, to me, how can I say it? I don't know with who I was speaking about that. Maybe with you guys or with another live, but when you're speaking about duo or trio in a midfield, you look at complementing each other to have, everything. And that's the best midfield. One will be more tactical, one will be more technical, the other one will be, like scoring more goals, and then you cover each other. And that makes a perfect midfield. On top of that, if you can have plug in players from the bench and you complete, who is better? I don't know. Together they are great. So Senesi, I really like him. I think that we need him, but I'm scared about Bremer physical conditions, and
Yeah. Do we like
it's not
Calafiori?
as complete as we thought.
Do we like Calafiori?
He ain't coming.
I would not go for Calafiori.
No,
He's not coming.
He can do the ads with his underwear. I don't care what he's doing, but I would not go for Calafiori. He was nice. He was humble. This end, at the end, I don't care if it's this and he's playing well. I don't care. I would buy his underwear. The problem is that he's always in the a medical there in London.
Yeah.
You know that Juventus, they knew about it. When they were, you remember, in discussion with Bologna, they
Mhm.
were about to take the risk, but they were aware of the physical conditions of Calafiori, and the medical staff recommended not to do it. At the
Mm.
end, we wanted to do it and we were about to do it. Giuntoli didn't care, but medical staff said, don't do it.
Yep. And his medical records are
And that's why I would
hefty.
not do Rudiger.
Hefty. Oh no, Rudiger is the same, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rudiger is the same.
Should have
And
come like a few years ago
yeah,
for free from Chelsea.
that was the opportunity and we let it slide. But yeah. Okay,
Okay,
moving
give me
on.
really fast and then we close. Really fast.
Yeah.
In Bilico wins. Comoli and team are doubting. Vlahovic, keep or
Get
sell?
rid. Done.
Yes, man,
Done.
sell.
Bye. Bye.
Di Gregorio.
Ciao.
I say get somebody to compete with him.
No, I would not do that. That's the worst thing that you can do for a goalkeeper.
No, that's the best thing you can do for a
No.
goalkeeper.
Not for Di
That's the best
Gregorio.
thing.
No.
That's the best thing you can do for any player. And if
For
Di
any
Gregorio,
player on
and-
the
and-
field,
and
not
if
for a
Di Gregorio-
goalkeeper.
And if Di Gregorio fades and he's all like, "Oh no, the pressure,"
No,
then
no,
get
no,
him
no, no.
out.
A goalkeeper, Buffon, Chesney, didn't work. Donnarumma and who was the guy there? Canvas. What's the name there?
Oh,
From
Navas.
Real Madrid.
but
Navas.
those are bad.
Navas.
Those are
Not
bad.
work.
Those are bad examples because you're
No, no,
talking
no, no.
Buffon.
There are no
If-
good
if
goals.
Buff-
There are
if you
no
have
good
Buffon on your
examples.
team, if you have Buffon on your team, you don't worry about it because you have Buffon on your team.
No,
We don't.
because No, because Buffon went crazy at a certain moment. Then when Chesney was playing first, etc., because he said, "I cannot play second. I don't like it." Because it's not you cannot have competition between goalkeepers. It doesn't exist.
That
Clear strategies.
fully
Second.
disagree, but okay.
No, I promise you. This is something you have in every world. You need competition, but also in goal. Attention, at a certain moment, if your number one is shit and your number two is upcoming, is doing great, at a certain moment, arrivederci, you take a decision.
Mhm.
That's not what I'm saying. But at goalkeeper, that's the only role in football where you need clear hierarchy. You are one, you are two. No discussion. You make mistakes. I keep believing in you. Then at a certain moment, oh, we change. You cannot have it. Never works. Look at the history of Juve.
History of
Just
Juve has some of the best goalkeepers in the history of the world. That is exactly what I'm saying is not a good not a good
no,
barometer.
because there was nobody to put competition on. Zoff, Buffon. You will tell me they were the best. Yeah, but there was no competition. But we have Tacconi, we had Chesney. There was no competition for Chesney either. There was a
I
clear
would say
hierarchy. Even with Buffon, there was a clear hierarchy. Buffon is second. There was no hierarchy. Sorry, there was a hierarchy. Buffon said yes. Why? Because Pirlo asked him. 1 and 2. In the history of Juve, there's always been a 1 and 2, and the second was not at the level. Then, if you have him, look, Buffon went injured in the beginning of the season in a Trofeo Berlusconi. Injured. We had like 5 goalkeepers waiting. Call between Berlusconi, Galliani, and Juve, and they say, we injure your player 1 game before the season because it's the friendly. Take Abbiati. It was 2010 5, if I'm not wrong.
four,
2005 4 5 4 5. Uh, because it was clear that there was no competition, and goalkeepers psychologically, knowing goalkeepers, hierarchy, boom, boom. Oh, then of course I respect your opinion, Zach. If you tell me that you like it, I accept. But I know them. They tell me it's impossible. They feel bad because goalkeepers, they are crazy in their mind.
Well, goalkeepers are in all sports a different breed, shall we say? But I think it's absolutely essential when you have a goalkeeper like Di Gregorio on your team, and certainly if you can't sell him, that you have to get the best out of him. And if he pales and under the competition because he's just so weak minded, that tells you everything you need to know. But when you don't have an elite goalkeeper, like what's the point of having a number one when you have mediocrity in the position?
he's almost
If
off our
you
books,
push,
so
you
he's almost
push.
off our books. So I'd rather, if we need to, I don't know, sell him for 4
You
million.
sell him and you
okay.
get rid of Perrin. Now you need 2.
Zach,
But you need him regardless.
he's not
That's what I'm
strong
saying.
enough from a character point of view.
Then why did
With-
you sign him,
with-
Pepe?
No,
If
no,
that's
no.
the case, then that's a
I didn't sign
disaster.
him, huh?
But that's to say, if he's that weak minded as a goalkeeper, where you need to have the shortest memory known to mankind, okay?
No, but
then he
telling you,
then he doesn't belong
Zach,
on a professional football pitch.
Zach, if he is not strong mentally enough without competition, because he knows that he's number one, so he's not even risking the spot. If you put him a competition, this guy is Pinsoglio becomes second goalkeeper. Huh?
Oh, apart
He
from
will
that,
not progress. He will not
you a-
progress with competition.
you ask the guy, who do you prefer, Handanovic or Buffon? Who's the better keeper? The guy says Handanovic. Oh, Laporta.
but
Yeah,
it's hard for me.
no,
But
no,
I
no,
want to
no,
defend him on that,
no.
and it's impossible to defend. But I want to defend
It's
him on that.
impossible. It's impossible. Not to
You
Juve
grew up,
Inter debate, but
he was not at Juve yet. He didn't even know
no, no,
about
no, no,
Juve.
no. But wait. The
Wait.
question was,
Huh?
who do you think is the better goalkeeper?
I know, but he grows up. He grows up looking at Handanovic as his idol, his friend, his mentor, probably one that gave him a hand at a certain moment. And you're that attached to him that you say him over. You are biased in these kind of things, and he has chosen the love, the friend, the friendship. I don't know. I can understand it,
Nah, I
but of
can't.
course,
But
Handanovic is not better. He knows that it's not better.
apart from that, he's a poor goalkeeper. He's a mediocre goalkeeper at best. He do well at the Fiorentina, Bologna,
Look, I
Sassuolo.
have a son. My son is great, fantastic. I love him, but I'm sure that there are better people and worse people, like in every case. But my son will always be the best to me. If you
Of
make a game
course.
like that, your son or Timothée Chalamet, I will say my son. But I'm not sure about it.
We have to edit that out. We have to edit that out. No, but
He's
you're
watching.
right.
He's watching. I know. He's watching.
But your
He
son.
told me today I watch because I need to know if it's the romantic doctor version of Fred or if it's the
What
ultra
is it?
version of
It's
Fred.
it's the ultra.
It's the ultra. It's
I
the
should have
ultra.
won at Stone Island, but that's another debate. But your son is not being paid to be your son. That's the difference. Your son loves you. You love
But
him
it
because
was a
you have
game.
the
It was a game. It was a game.
yeah,
Also
yeah.
for
You
Di
you can
Gregorio,
say that now. You can say that now. No, I know what you're
No,
saying,
not
but
me, Di Gregorio. I mean Di Gregorio. It was a game for him. It was not on it was not on Inter channel or Monza channel. It was a game.
no, but it's not because of that that I'd say kick him out. It's just if you see because today I read somewhere out of the 45 games that he played this season, 15 of those games, the first shot that we had on target was a goal.
No, no,
That's
man.
that's
It's a disaster situation.
that's astounding. That's something that needs to be studied. I
I
mean,
always
it's not
said
like
at Juve, I want that if there is one shot on goal, you're saving it. No matter what, no matter the difficulty level, you save it. I have been used like that with Buffon, with Tacconi, with Peruzzi. Peruzzi was not tall, eh?
no, no, no,
Peruzzi
no,
was
no.
great, except in the final of Champions League where I wanted to kill him, but
That's
he's
another
giving that
issue.
ball again. Mamma mia, I wanted to kill him. Not
No,
only
but
me, by the way.
you just need to gain points for your team as a keeper, and Di Gregorio just doesn't do that. End
Yeah,
of.
but guess what? He's got Perrine, who's got 2 foot out of the door, sitting behind him. So what does he care? He's getting his paycheck. He'll go out there, do a job. He's got under no pressure.
Who?
Di Gregorio. It's the same argument we had last year, Beppe, when we didn't bring anybody in to back up Dushan. You're like, if you bring someone to compete with him, you'll kill him. And he was absolute garbage again after September. It's just that you have that's why this is the greatest evidence for why you need competition at the goalkeeper
Vlahovic has
spot.
a lot of competition. You know where?
Yeah, well,
In
no,
his
he
own
doesn't.
head.
He's
In his
fighting.
own,
No, he's
He's
competing
fighting.
with fashionista Dushan and
No, he's fighting.
influencer Dushan.
He's
No,
fighting
if we had a
Yeah,
legitimate goalkeeper to back up Di Gregorio,
I
Spalletti would have sat his butt on the bench and gotten the next guy up. But we have no good keepers
wait,
on our
wait,
team.
wait. If you tell me if we had another goalkeeper that was better than Perin, for example,
Mhm.
and he would, of course, he would start but I don't think that you save Di Gregorio with a competition. You kill him even more. So you sell him. That's the consequence. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, if you sell, you say sell him, then we'll still have to bring in 2 goalkeepers. That's a problem among
bring
itself.
I
your
think
kid.
they already counted on that in bringing
Yeah,
in
yeah.
two.
Yeah,
I
with
think
who?
they already.
With whose money?
Yeah, but you bring your own kit. You bring Dafara, single goalkeeper for a season, and you take another one.
Oh, well, maybe you said 2 years, Beppe. I mean, so I think when we
said
look at this holistically,
ideally.
no, but if you bring up that list again, just real quick, if you
Yeah.
you're saying we're getting rid of, and you scroll up a little bit, what 6 or 8 in that middle box?
This.
Yeah, so that's 8, 7, 8 right there. You get rid of Vlahovic, you get rid of Di Gregorio. I mean, Holmes going back on. I mean, the point is, Beppe, is you have to pick and choose your battles, right? If you're going to get rid of 10, 15 players on our team, then that's a lot of players that you have to bring in. And I think you would agree with me that many players on this list aren't coming with a hefty sell on.
You
I
will
mean, we're losing
never
a lot of
be
them for
able
free.
to sell all of them.
That's the
You
point.
will never be able to sell all of them.
That's kind of my
The
point.
No, but the goalkeeper is easy to replace. If you really want to replace the goalkeeper, it's super easy to replace. Perin is gone for free.
Mhm.
You take the Farah back. Di Gregorio, you sell, you do a bit of profit, and you go for, maybe, I'm just saying, Guillaume Rest. And you have a young goalkeeper, you have another one that is growing, that is known. If he succeeds, good. If he doesn't succeed, in 2 years, the other one is there. It's easy. It's super easy to solve. Then if you want Carnesecchi to put 45 on the table, that's a lot. To me, it's a lot. Except if you are able to put Miretti and Gatti and these kind of things on top of that. But otherwise, it would be really a lot of money.
Two
I mean,
goalkeepers was calculated in already from September already.
I feel like the financial situation. I mean, we'll agree to disagree on this one because we spent a lot of time talking about Di Gregorio, but I think
Not because it's a problem.
well, he's a huge problem. I think, but if you one less person to sell with money we don't have to get money that we won't get, that's kind of my point.
No, I
Be
think you can
practical with
sell him because you didn't sign him for a lot. You signed him for
No,
20
I
million
understand.
euros.
I understand. But it's anybody who's watching us, just like when you watch like Dusan play for us, or you watch Zagrova play for us, or you watch Chico play for us, you watch Cabal play for us, you watch Cambiasso play for us. Who's jumping? Who's jumping to sign these guys?
But Di Gregorio will not go to Real Madrid or
No,
Manchester
of
City.
course not. Of course not.
That's not where he will go. Unfortunately, where can he go? He could go potentially to Atalanta. He could go to Bologna. He could go to
Dortmund.
these teams. Yeah, if he wants to leave. But when was he the best at Juve? Which games?
When he was on the bench.
Nah, die.
Man City
Ah,
last year, not in the
Manchester
Club World
City.
Cup, in the
Champions League.
Champions League group stage. They had a couple really clear cut chances that would have flipped that game script from the 2-0 victory we had easily in their advantage, and he made some big saves early to
Real
keep us in.
Madrid.
Yeah, Real Madrid game as well.
There were a couple of games like that. You will see
Mhm.
every time that he was great, it was when Juve was under pressure, receiving a lot of balls against, like at at Monza. Sorry, when they receive a lot of shots on target, he's good. He's good. He's warmed up.
If
He
he
goes.
saves
He
the first,
saves.
if he saves the first ones,
Yeah,
but then if he gets the first one in, he's done
yeah,
for the game.
yeah. But he's good when they are like Monza. When you have a lot of shots on target and he saved the first, he's confident. He goes.
Yeah, I
That's when he
agree.
was great. In games
And even at
where
Monza, sorry, but the mistakes we see now, if you look at YouTube clips, you could see some of those back in the Monza days as well. Let's not get, it's not like he saved everything and was Superman between the posts there. He did a lot of good things, I agree, but he also did the things that we see him do now. So
Right.
I wasn't a
Zach,
fan
Zach
when
is
he
right.
came on.
Zach is right. We speak too much about Di Gregorio.
Yeah,
Kelly, in doubt. We keep, we sell.
keep.
I think you keep him, but he is a player who will likely garner some value. And if you get Senesi in, they would play the same position, and you can sell Kelly for the EPL tax, that's an opportunity. As much as I've really appreciated his improvement, the work he did in the offseason and what he's doing this year, that's one of those opportunities that's, especially if you do have Senesi kind of waiting in the wings, where you can turn his money into legitimate improvements on this team. So I think you keep him, but you keep your mind on the fact that he might present a financial opportunity.
Well, I mean, for 50, 60 million, like with Bremer, I think you'd be mad not to sell him. Let's be honest. But for me, he's one that earned his place for next season already by the performances he gave this season. So if he wants to say and he's happy with the salary and says, my heart is at Juventus, I would not push for a sale. Like, keep him maybe eventually as a rotational player if we have 3 competitions next year. So for me, Kelly's not an issue. But
Yeah, he's
the
not.
rest, a lot of the players on the team at this point are, if you look at that list.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that worries me.
If you have a lot of teams circling with Kelly, you say, okay, guys, his price is 50 million. You pay it, he goes, or he stays. We're fine either way. And
Kelly,
fake playoff.
Capitano next season. I'm exaggerating.
I don't think that would
it was
be
to
the
piss
case.
you off, Zach. No, but I would keep Kelly, except of course if you have 60. But it's not even the 60. It's not even the 60 million that is good or bad. Who are you replacing him with? If you tell me
Well,
Senesi,
Senesi would be the
no,
obvious.
to me it's not enough because whether you are doing a like for like, Kelly has a fantastic season.
Mhm.
There are two big flops this season. It's Napoli and Galatasaray. Disaster. Kelly, disaster. These two games were a disaster for Kelly. Except of that, fantastic season. So what you need to do as Juve now, what is working, you keep. And you find players that can increase. So a Senesi is better than Kelly. Great. Kelly's still there. He will fight or not fight. There is that competition. The one that is the most informed plays. If Kelly at a certain moment is better, he plays. If not, it's the other one. But that we don't have a lot today. Who do we have in defense? We have nobody.
But that's the thing, because now you replace Cambiasso, who's not very good, with Cabal, and the difference is
Voila,
huge. If you
that's what I
have a
mean.
Kelly with a Senesi, you have a luxury issue, and if
And they came
Senesi
playing
gets
together
injured,
because
Kelly,
at Bournemouth they were playing together as well. They were playing
and
together.
if I'm not mistaken, Senesi can also play a real center back type of player, like not just left right, but he can
Yeah.
do three positions. So
Yeah. He can.
I mean,
He can.
But
Then
that's kind of my point, though. You're fine. You want Lloyd Kelly to stay. You exactly for the reason that Beppe was talking about. In fact, Beppe, this next year would not be appropriate for him to be captain. I think based on sort of like the
no,
tenure rules and so forth.
I
But
was joking.
but I'm not going to joke because I think he's demonstrated. Seeing him live, seeing his growth, seeing how he works and communicates with the defense, seeing the drive that he has. He has a lot of the characteristics that you'd want in a leader. And so again, that's me getting ahead of myself. But down the road, I think he has the characteristics to potentially be that leader. But I think
look,
at Juventus,
I will complete you, Zach, if I can. Kelly, the hate and undeserved hate that he received last season, how he was able, without a single word, to go over it. Chapeau. That shows a lot of character.
100%.
Individual, because then being individually strong or being a team leader is different. But individually, what he did to overcome that situation, chapeau.
Also, I'm going to say
how old is he? 29.
No,
28.
I think he's
28.
Maybe a year or two younger than that. I didn't think he was that
28.
old. I thought he was 26. But
let me check.
Quick Google search.
But the thing is, especially the fact that he stayed in 27, that he stayed in Torino the whole summer and prepared himself for the season, but also discovered the city and the people and everything around Turin and whatever. For me, that's because a lot of these players, they go to Tahiti or Mauritius for the summer vacation. They say, I'll see when I get back. He said, no, I'm going to stay here. I want my place. I'm going to fight for my spot.
But I mean, I guess to finish my point, I agree with Beppe for everything we said. But for Lloyd Kelly, if there are EPL teams knocking, you set a price that you'd be happy taking, and you say in response to you saying, well, then don't you want quality to compete with a Senesi Bremer backline, for instance? Well, then now you have 50 million to play with to bring in and fill out the squad that you didn't like. If you sell Di Gregorio for 7, you don't have as much flexibility. That's kind of my point, is you take 50 million for Kelly to build out the roster with quality. But you kind of hold that line. He's not a player that you need to just like push out the door.
We're not in a position to via.
McKennie.
I think we've talked about McKennie. You have your salary range you're willing to give him for what he's done for this team. You absolutely try to convince him to accept that salary range. But if he's insistent on going super high, you be financially responsible. And
Boga?
Keep.
Sample size is low, but so far keep.
Cambiaso?
If somebody's crazy enough to give us money for him, but I wouldn't under the Cambiaso at the level that he is today. For me, still worth 35 to 40 million in today's market.
Someone will buy him.
If you don't get that and you decide to part ways with him for 20 million euros, then you're stupid.
Somebody will buy him. And I think at this point, you take your money and you try to
And
you scout that left back position pretty aggressively. If you're not
Yeah,
already
and
doing that, I think that's an obvious one.
And I think these are not the players that you panic sell in that respect, because Cambiaso didn't weigh on your budget. He doesn't even salary-wise do that, so it can only be a win-win, but you need to exploit that to the maximum.
Yeah.
And if you say we need a new left back with the same qualities, it's going to cost us 50 million, so for 40 we can let him go.
Jonathan David, that's the last one.
Keep.
Sell.
Sell.
Y'all never like Jonathan David.
He makes sense
And then him, huh?
financially to sell.
Well, yeah, it's pure profit with regards to that.
If you want to bring in Colomwani and you can sponsor his arrival or half of that price by selling him. And I'm not a big Colomwani fan, but I'm just using that as an example. I don't think David will ever be accepted to the extent that we expect other things from him that maybe he cannot produce. That doesn't mean he's a bad player, but
I always said I'm happy with Jonathan David as the non-starter not starting striker. He's earning 6 million euro, which is the most paid player of Juve, equal or a bit less maybe in the bonus than Kenan.
Yeah.
And today he didn't show me to be the number 9 of Juve, and he will never be. He will be a good sub. He will have his moments. He will do great, and he's a qualitative player. But he's not the second or equal best paid player of Juve. That's not him.
that's the Vlahovic mistake over again.
I fully disagree with what you just said, because we didn't spend 70 million on Jonathan David and he has half the salary of Dusan. So comparing those two is absurd in my opinion. But I also agree with
6 million in the beginning as well.
I also disagree with Beppe, but I think that's at an hour 45 in. I don't know if we want to go down that rabbit hole. We can agree to disagree on Jonathan David.
No, of course, you need to offer more to a player that is a free transfer, because otherwise they are gone. They are something else. But when he's there, he needs to. I always said I don't care about salaries. I don't care about values. You need to give me, but there are hierarchies, and Cope Manners is not worth what we are paying him today. He's not delivering. Not as a center back, not as a left center back, not as a midfielder, because I'm expecting him to do 90 minutes every game of what he did in the first 45 against Galatasaray. And we saw it one time in 2 years. It's not enough. McKennie was earning what he was delivering, and probably deserved more than what he was receiving in terms of money. And now we are discussing to increase. Jonathan David arrives on a free transfer. He decides to go to Juve. We decide to give him the number 9 of Juve, not on the back, but virtually. And he is, at today, a player that Tudor said, I prefer Vlahovic. That Spalletti says, I don't care if he comes back fast or not. What I'm waiting for to end the season is Dusan Vlahovic. It's the reality. And that's not the player that needs to earn that high at Juve. To me, if you put him in a ranking, it's a 3.5 million euro in this Juve, a 3.5 million euro player that starts a lot of games is on the bench. If he doesn't score for 4 games, it's okay. From what I saw, Then, tomorrow, if he shows, he starts to bang, boom, 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 boom. Bravo, David, fantastic. I'm happy. Yeah.
Two things. I mean, when you look at wages, God, the business we do is so bad. Our highest earners, right? Vlahovic, Yildiz, David, Bremer, Coop, Openda, Conceição. Right? It's like out of that list, that's a lot of garbage. If those are your highest earners, that's garbage.
True.
Other than Yildiz,
But
and
with Yildiz,
Bremer,
you put
and
a
Bremer.
benchmark, Zach, because this is a new decision that you take.
No,
and you
I say even if you take
star
Yildiz out of
player,
it,
it's Yildiz. That's
No,
the
but-
top.
no, but I'm saying
And,
that's
and
fine.
Vlahovic is gone. That's
No,
what you said. Huh?
Well, no, I'm just saying. No, well, he's
No,
Vlahovic
not
has
you.
been there.
Comoli. I mean,
Yeah,
Juve says
I'm
that.
just saying, but still, I mean, but the same guy, Kamoli, brought in Openda, who is what, our fourth or fifth highest earner. It's just like when you look at our highest earners, Jonathan David is probably our second best player of those ones I listed behind Yildiz. And by the way, boasts a higher goal contribution per 90 minutes than Yildiz. So I understand.
And I hope so. They are strikers. The other one is a winger.
The other one's your talisman number 10. You would expect him to produce, Pepe. Come on.
Yeah.
The thing is people, and your chat's no different, and this is not a criticism, when they think of a number 9, and me and Frederic have talked a lot about this, they do not think of Jonathan David. Like from his characteristics, from his stature, he's my height. He's a little bit shorter from the 6'3". I'm sorry for using my American terminology. Vlahovic, is in Kolomani. They have more of that striker presence, striker stature. Jonathan David's a little bit shorter. He likes to drop back. He likes to hop out in possession. So I understand fully. If you look at Jonathan David and you say, that is not the type of striker I want. And Spalletti has been very clear that he wants a certain different complexion striker in terms of the bigger aerial present, more dominant physically striker position. But that doesn't mean...
You watched the game on Wednesday, right? You watched the game on Wednesday.
Yes.
Look at the aura of Osimhen. He didn't score. Look at the aura, the presence. I don't care what is... Look at the confidence in him, the courage, the balls. He's there. Icardi enters like with an aura of...
Dusan Vlahovic can't even, but it isn't worthy of polishing Osimhen's shoes because he's bad. The thing, and we're not really talking about that. My point about David is if at the end of the day the manager's like, this dude is not going to fit in my scheme. Look, whether you're good or bad, you move him on because he doesn't fit the manager's scheme. And that's something that the summer will tell us. But strictly based on the contributions to this team and what this team has needed, I think Jonathan David is an extremely useful player that, to go to Frederic's point, you could sell at any time for a profit if somebody comes in. But he's a guy who's balanced enough that who can start a game and allow the other team to kind of show you their hand, and then you can respond. And I think we've actually done that, and that's exactly what Spalletti has wanted to do by using Dusan super sub or other guys coming off the bench to attack the vulnerabilities of other team. That getting a more complete, balanced striker like Jonathan David allows you to elicit. And I think let's not, because he's not that complexion of that picture in your mind of what you think a striker should be, don't write him off, because he's quietly been extremely productive since Dusan has gone down with an injury. Keep in mind, he didn't get a lot of game time before that.
I
don't agree.
I know you don't. Neither of you liked him from the start, so it's my
uphill
battle.
This is something that I'm fighting with the chat. I really don't. I'm not that person. I'm really not that person that I don't like from the start, so I'm not changing my mind. I'm the last person on earth to be like that. I'm the first one to defend Jonathan David for the exact same reason that we were saying when he was not scoring in the beginning, because I defended him against the fact that I didn't want him at Juve. But it's not that I didn't want him at Juve. I said for me it's a good player for Juve, not as the starting offensive player. Let's put the number 9 aside, because otherwise we will not as the starting offensive player at Juve. The symbol of the offense, the one that needs to finish the attack, This is not Jonathan David to me. Don't bring him in if for that, because then he will fail. And this is exactly what I'm seeing today.
But
Him
even worse,
failing.
they paired him with Openda. That's even worse
That's not a good.
because
Yeah,
you
that's
already
not.
take a player,
Yeah.
you already take a player that in itself doesn't have that aura or that weight on defenders, and you pair him with a shadow strike or a second strike, whatever you want to call it, that even has less of that momentum and mechanism involving him and the deeper number nine. So what we did there not only doesn't make sense financially, and there I blame Komoli, but also doesn't make sense sportingly. Because if you say, okay, we made a huge, we spend, I don't know, 70 million euros on our two strikers, but you could see where it was going to be sportingly, but not even that. So to me, you have to get rid of those mistakes in a sense, and you need to identify the
And there's
type
a
of
third
player that you
mistake,
want.
Fred. The third mistake is that at the end you keep Dusan Vlahovic, that is putting your two new signings in difficulty.
Yeah.
Because I said, you know what I said, Zach, and I have been every day live in Italian or English. I said, I don't put Dusan Vlahovic in the stands. At the end, if we were not able to sell him, if he didn't agree, it's stupid to put him in the stands. Why? But he doesn't start. The
I agree.
starters are Jonathan David and Openda or Openda. But these are your strikers for the future. Juventus failed because you keep a Dusan and he continues to play as your starter. I think it was a really big mistake from our management to put Tudor in difficulty with players that he didn't really want. Openda is a player I like. For example, Zach, when you are saying you don't like him from the beginning, I said Openda is a player I like, but at Juve, I didn't want him
No fit.
Yeah, he's
because
a
he would
yeah, exactly.
never work.
Yeah.
He would
No, I agree.
never work.
Yeah, I agree.
Then, if tomorrow he's able to show me that I was wrong and that he's adapting to Serie A, I will be extremely happy. Like Jonathan David, I buy his shirt if he's showing me that consistently he's able to put his ball into the net, but he's not doing it. He's not doing it.
I,
Then you tell me, yeah, but this is not Jonathan David. He was with Canada. He was with Lille. He has shown that he was able to score. At Juve, he's not
Mhm.
able to put the ball into the net. Enough. Enough. Is it because of Juve? Is it because of I don't know. But we are paying you as Dusan Vlahovic gone, but you are before the renewal of Canon, you are the number one most paid player at Juve because we trust you, because that's what you think that you deserve, because otherwise you had other offers. That's what we believe that you deserve. We agree on it. Now you show. And he didn't. Do you remember that he scored against Parma, and then we had to wait like 6 months before seeing another goal? That's a lot, huh?
Well, we had to wait. We had to wait for Spalletti, really. For guys like McKennie too. Is Tudor? I think set a lot of people backwards in terms of this team and fit, because Openda and David couldn't get a game. David starts the first two games, gets a goal and assist in his first two games, and then rides the bench for 8 straight games. I mean, it's baffling. And I agree with you, Beppe. I think I would not have started Duchat. I would have gone with the future. We talked about it then, and I fully stand by it. And I think you reset and McKennie right in the bench to start the season too.
McKennie is
I mean-
another problem, Zach, because McKennie is a management problem.
I understand.
And it's a management problem. It's not that much a coach problem. If you're looking at every season of McKennie, he's not starting the first games. He's not. One time because of himself, because he is immature. One time because he's not following a diet during the summer. And then the other times because the management, we messed up with him, because we
Mhm.
are not treating him correctly, because we are sending him out, because we promise him to sign him and extend the contract, and then we don't do. Then a player is not happy. During that mercato end of month, he's always on the bench. And that's from the moment that we stop the mercato after 2, 3, 4 games, depending in the season. That's where McKennie said, okay, now I'm here, I will start. And where Juve said, now you're here, we will play with you. Tudor didn't stay long, huh? He was
No,
gone really fast, Tudor, huh?
And it was Spalletti who brought in McKennie, because McKennie didn't get a lot of minutes under Tudor. He didn't. And it wasn't until Spalletti came in.
It's true.
And then, but notably, once Spalletti came in, I mean, we talked about, you asked us really who was better this year versus last year, but relative to Tudor this year and Spalletti this year, almost everyone's better. David and McKennie notably improved when Spalletti came in. Notably.
I don't know, Zach. I don't know, because again, it's too short to judge a momentum. Jonathan David, when did he start to do really well? In January, right?
December, January. He had a good 2 months. He hasn't played much this month. I mean, McKennie too. I mean, McKennie's been good this month, but I think both of them. I mean, it was December, January. McKennie's been on fire. I wouldn't say David's been on fire, but David's been playing well.
Can I say something general and not highlight the individual players? I think we can agree and chat as well. If I look at the comments, if we make that list and we look at the players and we critique them, evaluate them, whatever, I think we can come to the conclusion that there are maybe 4 or 5 that we want to keep or see what they can bring to the team in the next season. But that still leaves you with the difficulty of bringing 10, 11, 12 new players in, whilst also selling the 10, 11, 12 players that we don't like or have no future or not good enough, or we don't like their hair or whatever the reason may be. And this is going to be the challenge. I think for Comolli, this is going to be the challenge.
Totally changed half a team.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. So it's not always because you're changing. No, now, when I'm saying sell Jonathan David, no, don't sell Jonathan David. You need to stop with Dusan Vlahovic. You need to stop with Openda. You keep Jonathan David. Good guy, nice. He starts to settle in. But to me, the mistake has been that you have paid him as your number 9, and this is the role that you are giving him.
And that's the thing. So we make those mistakes, but some mistakes we can't make better at a certain point. The Jonathan David situation, you always lose, because if you keep him and you expect him to become the greatest bomber in history of Serie A next season, it won't happen. If you sell him and you expect to get enough money in to bring in the number 9 that you want, the type a la Higuain, Trezeguet, not gonna happen. Either way, you've put yourself in that position. That's why I'm so harsh on management, because these things open, even Miretti, even though it's not a lot of money, but Miretti, Digre, Cabal, not letting, what's his name, Cambiasso go to City. If you add all these things up, that's 200 million that went poof for nothing.
And that's why what we need to do now when we close is keeping Spalletti, keeping the management without change, and we push. Then if you go against the wall, Papa Johnny will open the wallet again, and then we change again. What can I say? But we need
maybe he will already this summer, but not Papa Johnny. Jeep.
That's a discussion for tomorrow or next week. Tomorrow, a beautiful day, with some surprises. Attenzione ragazzi, we see each other tomorrow with a video. Are you live, guys, or do you have a video tomorrow on your channel?
No, I do not believe we do. I think we're waiting for the early game on Saturday against Como.
What time is it where you live?
8 a.m.
How much?
8 a.m.
I will never get used to that.
No, I mean, I got a young kid. I'll be long up, but I won't be able to actually be part of our coverage because I'll be entertaining him because it's in the middle of his active hours.
It's a cultural change. It's strange.
Yeah, I mean, for people who don't know, very much in America, wake up early on Saturdays and Sundays to watch football. It's what football fans do here. I mean, they look to wake up early on Saturdays and Sundays. That's the thing. And so you'll go over to your buddies or you go over to a bar that'll open up early. And we have here in America soccer bars that specifically open up early on Saturdays and Sundays to show the games, because normally the bar wouldn't be open at 6, 7 a.m. or whatever it might be. So that's a completely different culture.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, you like that 6, 7? That was for you, Beppe.
That's for me. No, but I know because I saw it also there when I was in US for a bit more than 2 weeks. It's totally different. The way of living sport is different. You have so much in prime time that is not football. Our football. There is a lot going on, and games early is different. It's totally different. That's a beautiful discussion for another time. Ciao a tutti. Don't forget.
Predictions.
Oh, mamma mia.
Oh, I know. I've been waiting for this. I have
to claw back.
You've got no chance because these two I got. Look, Beppe only lucked out because of referee madness. If Cabal didn't play and if Kalu doesn't get a red card, my results would have held true. But of course, these things happen. So I have to redeem. I'm going to redeem myself this time around.
I have a rule for the Galatasaray game. We do the 90 minutes.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask for, and I appreciate you doing that.
Juve Como. Who wants to start?
2-1. I'm confident. I've got this down, Beppe. Nico Paz suspended for a stupid foul. Fabregas not suspended despite grabbing a player on the pitch. 2-1 Juve.
2-2. 2-0.
2-2.
Isn't that what I think? That's what. Let's see. What did Kevin say? Kevin said 2-2 as well.
Let me check.
Yeah, he
but
said
Kevin's
2-2.
not here, so
He said 2-2.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they have the same draw, 2-2 for both of them.
And now money time.
Now, he wants to catch up, so he's going to pick Como to win. I mean, he's got.
Pepe's going to say 4-0.
We win the game. I go with Zach result 2-1.
Oh, you're playing. You're weak. At least should give you 2-0 or 3-1 or something, Beppe. Come on.
We always concede a goal. Is Cambiaso playing?
yeah, because he'll be sitting the next game, so of course he'll be playing. And
then we start with 1 goal down.
Yeah, basically. Jeez.
At least we won't see Cabal.
You want me to take some risks? 3-1.
There you go. There it is.
No, because we are not throwing. No, I will not, just to make you happy. 2-1. I said 2-1. That's my prediction. Juve Galatasaray. What did he say? 90 minutes, huh? 90 minutes.
You ready? 3-0. And this is why you love sport, for moments like this.
3-1. And that is why you hate sport at moments like that.
3-0.
Wait, Beppe, both of them you're copying me? Both of them?
It's a copy situation today. It was already like that in chat, now on the live.
This is the thing, Frederick, is he's just trying to get distance from you in the game. So he's going to copy my results. I'm of course right. So we're way ahead of you.
You already know what he's going to do at the end when you're draw, like you're almost level. The last couple of games, he'll go like exactly opposite or do something like really wild in the hope that
he's playing the long game. I'm on the.
Okay.
Kevin said.
Now we need to address some things here. We need to address because I see Bogdan. He's there every day on the channel.
Yeah.
Bogdan, I explained the scenario. Maybe I didn't do it here. I did it on Juventus. I don't know. The scenario is voilà, bravo. Thank you, Igor. I knew that I already said it. I made the scenario. You want to know the scenario?
Tell me.
Juve, we start. Goal 1, goal 2, second half, goal 3. We go to extra time. There is another goal. And that's where we regret the 5-2 because it will not be enough and Galatasaray qualifies. But I said
Could be.
3-0 at 90, and then we are eliminated next.
Kevin said
And
2-1.
don't
Juve.
forget that the last 2 games, I didn't copy anybody. I'm the one with 2 points.
Yeah.
We-
Season's almost over, Beppe, but sure. Kevin said 2-1 Galatasaray. So make a note of that too, please.
So we all picked a win. 3-1, 2-1, 3-3, 3-3. 3-0, 3-0.
Yeah.
This is it at the moment.
And Kevin, 2-1, Juve Galatasaray.
So at the moment, I don't know here. Wait, 1-2 and we lost. I need to put it in red as well, guys. Here, that's better. It's not a lot of good things, Fred. Huh?
He's got to catch up.
Zach
I
is
started
good,
well.
but if you are looking at the last 3, like a bit Jonathan David, I'm doing well. Huh?
Do you also make the same amount he does? Probably not. Not yet.
Oh, that was a
Not
good
yet.
one. I gotta see 2 hours. I said to my son, we keep it 1 hour today.
Cool cats.
Ciao a tutti. Chat, you are the best, and we see each other tomorrow. And then Saturday, don't forget, they are doing also the pre-game. You do the watch along as well, right?
No.
Just
watch
post.
along
Just
this time.
post. Just post.
Post
Okay,
game,
okay.
yeah.
Post games on Turin Giants as well. So ciao a tutti. Ciao.